What's up, everybody? We're going to be talking about this thing right here. This huge, ridiculously huge backpack called the Gura Gear Kiboko 30L plus backpack. Let's get into the video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you try to YouTube or research Gura Gear, there's not that much out there in regards to their bags. So I feel like I wanted to kind of make a video. Now, full disclaimer that they did give me this bag to check out and they wanted my feedback. With that said, they didn't tell me to make a video. Okay, let's just kind of remove this. It's getting kind of a lot here. You could already see what the camera bag looks like. I'll put it back on. One thing to know is that they actually have 3 different versions. I think it's a 16L, 22L, and a 30L, but then this is the 30 plus. So the plus actually just means it can hold a laptop. So that's kind of useful if you're traveling about and you need to pack in everything that you can in your camera bag. This one does just that. So you can kind of see what it looks like. Now I'm 5'9", not a very big build. I'm a small guy, don't hurt me for that. Get a good picture of what this camera bag can look like. I'll kind of do one of these so you guys can check that out. Aside from its looks, that's what it looks like. It looks like a camera bag. I've had the bag for about 7 months. I wanted to kind of really put this bag to the test. But let's just talk a little bit about what's the bag all about. You can see it holds a tripod. This is the newer LT32. We'll talk a little bit about this later. Pretty awesome tripod. My previous bag held a tripod to the back here, and whenever you had to lay it down, or open it rather, I should say, well, that tripod was just slapping itself onto the ground. Materials. They use something called this X-Pack 21. I forget the actual tech name, but I'll put it like right there. And basically what it is it's the same material that sailboats use, and it's super durable, very water resistant, very cool, easy open zippers, very pleasing to open and close. I like that. Both pros and cons to that. See, I'm from the city originally, so I'm very worried about my gear all the time. As you saw before, I had my tripod mount. So this has a stretchy pocket on this side. They have a kind of more nylon-ish pocket on this side, and I hold my gimbal on this side. Actually, I can show you that. When I'm shooting real estate jobs, I'll stick that in the loop. I use the handle as an extra support. Strap like that. I love the attention to detail. These 2 pull grips right here, really awesome. They really kind of lift up the bag in a way that you feel very confident that it's holding. One point to note that I would love to see Gura Gear put a kind of handle on the bottom, because I feel like due to the size of the bag, the weight, what you can actually put into this bag deserves maybe not necessarily this type of huge grip, probably something a little bit smaller so I can put this thing overhead on flight. I believe it is airline compatible as a carry-on. This is the 30L plus, so it does have a laptop compartment, which I can show you. Oh, that's where it is. Don't you hate that? You like stick a jacket in your bag and like you don't know where that jacket is ever again. It holds my 16-inch MacBook Pro perfectly fine right in there. Again, a lot of attention to detail right here. I love these buckles where they're super strong and sturdy. You can pull, but they have this release button. I don't know if you can see that in video, but like, this is really nice. Moving on to the back side. It is Peak Design friendly, so you can stick a Peak Design capture clip onto here. If you don't know what a Peak Design capture clip is, then, well, you should just buy one using the link down below, because it is the best thing ever, especially for travel. It does sit a little bit lower because the pads are kind of on the bigger side, so it sits kind of like right below my chest. The suspension system on this camera bag is really awesome. I don't think there's a lot of bags out there that actually embrace the load lifters and the waist belt, the sternum strap, all together contributing to a much more comfortable backpack. There's very few backpacks that do that. The Gura Gear Kiboko does it very well. I did do probably about a 2-hour hike or so, fully loaded. For the amount of gear that I was carrying, it was really comfortable. They have a cool little air channel here. Waist belt is removable, which I really like. And look, even the waist belt uses this same X-Pack material. Handles, straps, love it. They use some really premium materials for the buckles. You can feel them. They're very strong. This actually I'll show you later in the video, but there's a little secret compartment where you can hide all this. So Gura Gear uses this butterfly system. There's two sides of the bag, keeping one side open, keeping one side closed. So you have two different sides of your backpack. They have this little strap here. This is basically used to have both sides open, so you have quick access to both sides. I'll be honest with you, as a first-time user of a double side opening backpack, I've screwed up a couple times. I don't want to blame it on the camera bag. I was new to it. Most of my bags, maybe like you, have a single flap. You have one zip to worry about. Let's just say I need this 100 to 500 right here, and you put that in, you put your camera in. You need something from the other side. You're flying your drone, boom, you stick that back in, you gotta go, you zip this side back up, and you throw the shoulder on your bag. But you forgot to close this flap. There were two occasions where I didn't necessarily close that side of the bag. You can imagine what happened when I threw the bag over my shoulder. Yeah, that was me. I gave it more chances and I actually loved the system. It's been a real workhorse for me. I know for a fact that I only need certain pieces of equipment for a particular job. I'll have that on one side. So for example, here I'll have my 24-70 with an R5 and my longer lens right here. This is all I need to shoot photos or video. I have my ND filters, I have my GoPro here, I have my audio gear right here. That slides in there, and I have my Rode VideoMic NTG sitting on top of the camera. I love these zips right here. There's two sets of zips on either side of the bag. Again, attention to detail where you don't kind of scratch anything. Zips go in there. Same thing with this side. I have my 50 1.2 charger batteries, drone batteries, controller, Air 2S right in here. Controller sits right on top of there, and you can see how much space. This is my secondary camera body right here or right here, and I can have another lens right here. It's so much depth in this bag. You can fit a lot of gear in a very organized fashion. Now the bag does come with a lot of pads. A lot of pads. It comes with a lot of dividers. If you notice when the bag is open, you guys can kind of see actually right here. You see this strip of blue, this nice bright blue strip liner in the bag. So it's telling you that, hey, my bag is open. With my case scenario, I have the bag typically top down, and when I approach the bag, it's top down. You really don't see any liners, so there's no real way to know if your camera bag is open. So that kind of messed me up. Totally my fault. Again, not the fault of Gura Gear and their design. You just have to get used to this style of bag. You know how most bags have that outer compartment where you can fit, you know, an iPad or pens and notepads and SD cards. This bag has these two side panels which can fit a load of stuff. You have your standard pockets right here, your pens, cable, has a little lanyard. To have nearly an inch and a half of depth, what can you do with that? Let me show you. I usually use a secondary mounting arm for my Crane 2S, which I'll store right in there. On top of that, if I don't want to put this, I'll take my Rode VideoMic NTG, I'll store it right there on top of that. Now you're thinking, Rick, well, that's not protected. That is true. I wouldn't put any gear that I want protected on a bag on the outside, but these two pouches right here that are basically the full length of the bag. Really cool about this bag. So on this side, it has a little hidden compartment, and it actually has like a little slot for your air tag, which I actually use. So there you go. Well, now that you guys know where my air tag is, stay away. It also comes with a rain cover, which I honestly never use. So that's really nice. I think a lot of bags are doing away with rain covers. So it's really nice that they've included that. Kind of typical. Oh, this is nice, actually. I never even opened. Look at that. Attention to detail. Huh. Ah, a little clippy thing. Good job, Gura Gear. I actually never even opened this. I don't know if does it have one of those logos and stuff. Nice. Just a little side logo there. It's not a huge printed logo like some of the rain covers. This thing that goes down in here. Hold on. It's so loud. Fold that up. So you'll also notice that these shoulder straps actually have a clippy thing. I wonder what that's for. Well, Gura Gear thought about that too. They said, hey, you know, how can we make this bag a little bit more travel friendly? Actually, I've never used this feature because I typically have the bag on my back. You can stick the whole bag. I don't know if you guys can get that on video. I'm getting there. Stick all the straps in there. Now you have sort of a travel duffel pack because you can just, no straps. It just looks like this. Load up a little travel tripod, take this, and kind of be on my way. So like I said, this bag has a lot of adjustability. There are a couple things I'm not really a fan of on this bag, so let's kind of go over those. All the ends of the straps have this Velcro type of thing, and I get it. They're making it super customizable where you can adjust length of strap and then you can kind of roll it up like this, and you can kind of do one of these things, kind of prevent the strap from being super long. I think I just do away with these. It's kind of a minor thing. I think I'll just probably like cut them off, burn the ends, and call it a day. I do wish that there was some way to make this bag open from the back, because a lot of times when you're out on a hike, lay your backpack like this to get access to your gear, put it back on your back. It's like, yeah, this whole thing is covered in whatever it's covered in, mud, rain, dirt, and then you gotta put it back on your back. They kind of did that with the Kiboko City backpack, so it opens from the backside. If there's a way that can make this bigger bag do that, that'd be a real winner. I would love to have seen this kind of Velcro material. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom rather, and nor does it go all the way to the top. So even here, this area right here and this area right here, I would love to have seen the Velcro just kind of go all around. Really hard to tell, but you can see that they included, I think, 2 of these or 4 of these, and then they have these narrow ones. I wish there was something kind of like in between, because different people have different size lenses. Us Canon users, our lenses, or at least our L glass, typically is a lot thicker, a lot bigger. These dividers right here would be too short, and then these would be a little bit too long. Maybe include dividers that are, you know, kind of like in between, or 2 sets. Basically take the width of this, cut that in half, and make them just a little bit wider. I have a love-hate relationship with this. The reason being is, I don't know, maybe this thing can be shorter, but whenever I'm done, it's there, and then when I'm really trying to need to zip this thing, it's like, it's in there, I need to stick it in there. So that kind of gets in my way. Gura Gear, if you're watching this video, maybe you can kind of figure out a kind of 2 magnet systems that could just kind of keep the flap open, and it could just kind of keep itself open. I love the simplicity of the design. It just says Gura Gear here. Nothing over the top as far as labeling. So how much does this bag cost? It comes in at a whooping $459.99. I know camera bags are super expensive today, but you're really paying for quality here. It's an amazing bag. Yeah, it is. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If it's something that you guys are considering, I'll leave some links down below where you guys can kind of check it out, but also check out their Kiboko City backpack, which I think is really cool, very stylish looking. Now this is the black one. They have a blue, and they kind of have, I think they call it, it's tan. That bag looks really cool, but I have the black one, so works for me. Black is back. I don't know what they say. You guys get the point. See you guys in the next video. What do you guys think?